Flanders and Swann, A Transport of Delight, a CD I got from the Age UK charity shop in Amersham for 99p. Back in the grey monochrome 405 lines utility furniture and no central heating days, we were a BBC family. My father despised ITV. He refused to watch Hancock once he'd switched to ITV. And my father revelled in the glorious return of Morecambe and Wise to the Beeb. ITV was for the in-laws and outlaws, and it was only on Sunday excursions to the distaff relatives that we would catch the golden shot, or on the buses. Flanders and Swann epitomised the BBC, and that is where I must have seen them, on the more arty variety shows. And I would have heard them on the Light programme. Two-way family favourites, perhaps. A duo with a man at the piano with a bearded man in a wheelchair, who spoke like Vivian Stansel of the Bonzo Dog Band, only in real life. They wrote and performed comedy songs. They were very middle class, occasionally poking gentle fun at the working class and foreigners, but they were always refined. The songs were a bit like Gilbert and Sullivan, or old music hall songs, only the innuendo was much more subtle, finding suggestion in words like Botticelli and Fidelio. They were certainly much more subtle than the Armstrong and Miller parody, and the jokes required a degree of knowledge, making them an achievement to get. They played games with the language. There are 3 verses in their famous song The Hippopotamus. The first features a single hippopotamus. The second features his inamorata, a hippopotama, and the third groups them as hippopotami. In the song I'm a Gnu, they voice the silent letters in all the words other than Gnu, to highlight the folly in pronouncing the G in the eponymous animal's name. There are jokes on the album that require some knowledge of Tudor theatre. There was a joke I laughed at that required some Latin and a knowledge of the great scandal of the times, when a minister lied to Parliament and actually resigned, as was expected at the time. I suppose they were a very upmarket Chas and Dave, with observational lyrics using ludicrous rhymes and vernacular. There has always been a tradition of this kind of thing. At the time we had Bernard Crippins and Lance Percival, and then we got Richard Stilgoe and Victoria Wood. The current equivalent might be Bill Bailey, Tim Minchin, or Fascinating Aida. The piano playing is witty in its own right, and Donald Swann, the pianist, played in a style similar to Colin Sell on I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue, and was similarly the butt of the jokes. Much of the act is Michael Flanders performing comic monologues which throw in jokes when you least expect them, and they stand up well to the test of time. They play their best-known songs, The Gas Man Cometh, Mozart's Horn Concerto, I'm a Gnu, The Hippopotamus, Mud, Mud, Glorious Mud, and the London Transport diesel engine 97 horsepower omnibus, Transport of Delight, Flanders and Swann.